The library is the perfect place to learn about the history and the narrative of Dr. Martin Luther King, as scholars have taken the time to enshrine his legacy. I am here at the Allen County Public Library to learn all about the book selections and the way they preserve his story. Joining me now is Aja Michael Keller, who is the Director of Communications here at the Allen County Public Library. Hi, Aja.
Hi, thanks for coming.
Yes, I'm so excited about the selections that you have pulled today to discuss MLK and really the books that you all have to offer.
Well, I'm so glad that you came in to talk about this topic with us. Libraries are the community's gathering place. It's where we come together to share ideas, celebrate and honor our history, the good and the bad parts, and Dr. King's legacy is certainly something we want to celebrate here.
Yes, absolutely.
So we have this display set up in our readers section of the main branch, and there are sections throughout the system. The first one I thought I'd show you is The Dream. This is about that famous speech on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, I Have a Dream, which really brought forward his message to the entire nation, brought a lot of people on board with the movement, and is iconic in great American speeches. So a great one to read about that speech.
Yes.
This one is Alabama v. King, which is very interesting. So this is, the civil rights movement also embraced civil disobedience. So that meant that there was time spent in courtrooms talking about these topics and what is just in our legal system and what is not.
Right.
And so this is written by a defense attorney who defended many of the civil rights leaders of the day, including Dr. King.
Yes.
So it's his story of his experiences as an attorney.
Fred D. Gray.
Yes. Fred D. Gray,
And journalist Dan Abrams. Okay, awesome.
And this one is, it's a big book.
It is.
And it is all of the essential writings and speeches of Dr. King, because he was known as a great speaker and writer, and through those words really inspired a nation. And it also includes something personally impactful to me, which is Letter from a Birmingham Jail, which I read as an incoming freshman in my undergrad. Our whole class read it, and it was just really cemented my belief in our ability to move towards a more just world.
Absolutely. Will you read a little bit of that for us?
Oh my gosh, yes, let me look it up. So this one is a part of the beginning of the essay, and he's speaking to leaders in Birmingham who said, why are you even here? Why are you bringing your message here and stirring up trouble? And he says, I have ties to this community, but he also says, beyond this, I'm in Birmingham because injustice is here. Just as the 8th century prophets left their little villages and carried their "Thus saith the Lord" far beyond the boundaries of their hometowns, to practically every hamlet and city of the Greco-Roman world, I too am compelled to carry the gospel of freedom beyond my particular hometown. So I think that's a message for all of us.
It is.
We can't stay where we are. We need to work together and work beyond.
Yes, work beyond. All right, Aja, we are now in the children and teen section. So share with me about the selections here.
So this is the display here in Children's, and these are picture books, children's books about Dr. King and some of the other civil rights movement leaders.
Okay.
But primarily Dr. King. And we have some great options. And school is out on Dr. King Day, and so we think that's the perfect time. You're off, the library's open, come in, get a book, and talk with your kids about Dr. King's legacy and what that means, what that meant at the time, and what that means today. We also have, if you can't make it into a branch, we have online virtual resources to look at some of these books and other materials.
That's so great. Okay.
The virtual library.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
So to have, take 5-10 minutes and have that conversation with your kid today, because there is a reason why we have an entire day off to celebrate and remember.
Yes, and I just love the illustration of the books and just really bringing out the messages. I've seen The Promised Land and A Peaceful Warrior, and just look at that.
Yeah,
so
look
nice
at these.
And different, and it's like what is it? Water paint.
Right, and taking some heavy topics, things like the bus boycotts and the freedom riders, and topics that can be a little bit difficult for children to understand, and showing them in visuals that they can understand, relate to, and they can take that history and they can understand it in their context. And that's what is so great about the librarians here at the Children's Services section, because they are thinking about how would a child understand this, and how do we make it so that they can have an introduction that introduces them to history and learning and discovery in an age-appropriate way.
Yeah, and just an amazing moment that I randomly opened up is just such a monumental moment in our history, which says that the boycott lasted over a year. Finally, in June of 1956, the District Court of the United States ruled the laws separating whites and blacks on the Montgomery buses were unconstitutional, and that this ruling was later affirmed by the Supreme Court. Finally, the buses in Montgomery were integrated.
And you know, the book we looked at over in Readers from the attorney, that's the same case. So what a way to bridge our youth to that history, to our own learning and understanding, so that we never forget how hard fought that battle for civil rights was, and how much work is still yet to be done.
So much to be done, yeah. So another thing I want to touch on is the center that you all offer that really allows for you to study your roots. Can you share a little bit?
We have the world-renowned genealogy center here at the Allen County Public Library. We're so proud of it. Such a gem for this community. People come from all over the world to visit.
Wow.
And we house a very large African American genealogical research center where people can come and find their roots. There can be, in genealogical research generally, a lot of brick walls that are difficult to get around because it's history and it's record keeping, but especially difficult when you talk about African American history because of loss of records or simply records weren't kept.
Okay.
And so our experts can help folks get around and through those brick walls so that they can find their roots and celebrate that legacy of who they are and where they can go.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Aja.